Hello everybody. So I'm decided to do a video to just give everybody the news through social media about what's been going on with me. And I'm sharing this on both my personal Facebook, on my Cat Shines YouTube channel, and on my Cat Shines Facebook page. My cancer cells are popping up again. And I only learned about this because I went in for my normal routine visit with my oncologist, and the blood number that they watched had essentially doubled in about 6 months. And my oncologist, and I don't have anything against her, she is wonderful at Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center. She wanted to wait for another 3 months to see what the blood number did, and it could be other things. And I pushed on and pushed for a CT scan. And so essentially I have some of these cells that are puffing up some of my lymph nodes at this point. And the cells are not currently in any of my organs. But what I need to say is that this type of cancer that I have, and I don't need to name it because I don't need all of you going and researching it, but the type of ovarian cancer I have is very rare. And it's also, very rare that somebody my age, as young as I am, I'm about to turn 50 next March, would have this type of cancer. So that's where we're at, and I've been spending a couple weeks kind of getting my head wrapped around it. And I just wanted to share with all of you what my viewpoint is. Because just like last time, when I went through the elixirs, as I called it, chemotherapy, I feel like I'm energetically working with the compounds that are going to be part of my treatment plan. And I also know from that journey, which now feels like a training ground, it was absolutely a training ground. I know that the people around me need a cue from me as to how am I going to do this? How am I going to walk this path? And I have to say that the human layers of when you hear cancer popping up again, and my oncologist calls it disease progression, which kind of makes me laugh. I'm like, yep, it's here again, all right. The most heartbreaking part and the heavy, heavy human layers of this are all the people around me, particularly my husband. Very heartbreaking to watch my parents have to go through this. Our son, Brett, he's doing pretty good. He's a pretty stalwart figure, but we're keeping dialogue open and trying to keep it as light as we can. But it breaks my heart watching the people around me. And I know this might not make sense to some of you, but it's actually harder watching the people around you than it is for you yourself. And I know that probably doesn't make much sense, but that's the way it feels once again. I felt this way last time too. But I also, and I want to say too, that I have a huge support network. I have especially my immediate family, my parents, my husband, my son, are absolute, just a ring around me that I could not have asked for anything better. And then, of course, there's extended family, and also my work family is tremendous. Tremendous. I'm so lucky to have these various, they're like circles, if you will imagine like a tree trunk when it's sawed. You see these rings, and that's what I feel. And I have so many of them, with the very most important being my own personal family. Just a source of tremendous support that is beyond words, really. I do want to draw a very hard boundary right here and right now, though. And I don't intend to go here with any future videos, but I'm doing it on this one. There are some people out there that I have encountered over the time, particularly that I've had my intuitive business, that may listen to this and think this is a bunch of bullshit. And for you, I have nothing. Step on out. I've got nothing for you. And in previous lifetimes, I think I allowed your fear to get the better of me, and I've got nothing for you now. So step on out, okay? There's nothing that I'm going to relate to you that you're going to be able to understand and to be able to take in. So I'm sorry for needing to feel so harsh about that, but I don't have any room in my energy for people who don't believe in the approach that I'm choosing to take. And I will also say, or that I'm being delusional, by the way. I am a very smart woman with a college degree, with a corporate career, with a business of my own, with a beautiful home, a successful family. I'm not delusional. So I just need to say that from the outset, because some of the things that I'll be sharing through my journey, I know based on the fact I'm just so blessed to have an intuitive connection as I do. And messages and information has been coming to me since actually well before I received this diagnosis from my oncologist. And because it's such a rare cancer and super rare for me, I just know that I've got a role to play as a messenger and as an alchemist. My body does extremely well with Western medicine. I take antibiotics like a champ and work with them for the highest good of my body. And I did it with chemotherapy last time. And this time around, I'm going to be using immunotherapy. And this is a clinical trial. It's 2 different drugs that I'm going to be having infusions of. Starting on the 26th, I think is going to be my first one. And I feel very strongly, because this is so rare and so rare for somebody my age to have this, and that thank God I have my intuitive connection, because I honestly don't know how people get through something like this without having a connection to something bigger than themselves. But this is why people turn to faith, isn't it? And so I have a very strong connection to the all that is, to infinity kind of energy, where anything is possible. And I do feel, because of its rarity, that I selected to come here and to work with these cells, and to work with chemotherapy, and to be one of many on the planet who is upgrading those compounds. But the thing is, we're moving into a 5-dimensional energy on the planet. And I know that as an intuitive, and I feel it, and I see the effects in my own personal life. And this is one of them. Immunotherapy is going to be what eventually, I believe, is going to replace all chemotherapy. Because I think the older cancers are going to start being able to be cured in some sense. And there are going to always be new challenges, because that's how we expand as beings. So there's going to be these new challenges that come up, and I'm curing particular kind of cells that are very young, very new in their energy. And so immunotherapy needs to know how to work with those cells. And what I know, again, because of the rarity, there's no other way to make sense of this. Because I'm a healthy person otherwise, other than this little cancer thing. And so I do believe that I am due to work with these immunotherapies now, to sort of give them a cauldron, give them an alchemical kind of cauldron to work within. And I feel confident in that. And so that sort of is my take on it. And what I want to say too is that my goal is to kind of, what came to me was becoming a space cowgirl. I always wanted to be a cowgirl when I was really little. And I feel like this is going into another dimension of working with these compounds, which I'm calling agents. I think I'm capable of working with them. Their actual human effects seem to be very little. It's actually gentler within the human body than chemotherapy is, from what my oncologists are telling me. And I know that I can use those immunotherapy agents to literally create a rocket booster in my immune system. And that is my stance as this sort of wild cowgirl out there in the cosmos, working with to pull other energies in that I have access to. And there's many people that have access to this. And meanwhile, because I'm on a clinical trial, I'm receiving a level of care that few people are receiving. There's only 707 people in this particular study, and I'm one of them. That's across the entire US. So this is a clinical trial for very rare cancers. And it's a myriad of types of cancers, not just mine. So given that, I feel like, of course, I'm intending to help myself. Of course. But also, I do feel a really good sense inside that I might be helping others in the future. And when you're in a clinical trial, that's important to keep in mind, okay, is that you are helping other people. And what really warms my heart is to think I could be helping myself or somebody that I love in my current life in a future life. I could be helping my child's children or any part of the bloodline. I could be directly assisting them at this moment. And of course, I'm trying to help myself as well. But I feel great comfort in that, okay? And I want to say too, just like I did before, please don't give me the you're going to kick its ass, you're going to beat this thing, you're going to battle this. For some people that works with cancer, and I honor their approach. Those are the best words I've ever been given by a patient that I interviewed who had breast cancer. There's no right way to do cancer, only your way. And those words still hold true. But I still hold true to not battling because it doesn't work. And it really doesn't work for me. For me. I'm not making a comment on anybody else. But for me, especially with this kind of cancer that's so rare, I tuned into the energy of these cells. And you're going to laugh a little bit, I hope, is that I tuned into them and it's like very young energy that is like a tween age, not quite a teenager yet. And you give them their first phone and then they've got access to all this social media. And before you know it, they've gotten themselves into a little bit of trouble. And they come back and they're like, oh, ooh, sorry, I didn't know I was doing that. It's kind of this wild, wild west energy. It's very, I know a lot of you are going to have a hard time getting your head around this, but it's actually very innocent energy. And those cells do not want to be there. They activated as they would in any of us. We all carry the potential to have every type of cancer. What makes the difference is this cauldron, the body, and how we hold that body and the chemistry that's going on inside of it. And our thoughts and our emotions have a lot to do with it. And so those are the types of things that activate these cells. And they don't want to be there. But the thing is they don't know how to discharge sometimes. And especially this very young energy, it just like a tween, it wants to get its energy out. And it wants to it's kind of pinging around like, give me a way out. I gotta be out. It wants to express its energy. Okay? And I just want to offer you that as a different way to look at this because I need this kind of support for my journey, and it's not helpful to think of these cells as evil. I'm working with them. I'm trying to give them a method to discharge because they don't want to be there. Okay? I don't believe in anything evil that is out to get us, that is out to snuff us out. I just don't believe in that. Okay? It's not helpful to me. So also, I want to give, again, like I did last time, the total kudos to the researchers who are the ones giving up their lives to devote themselves to their research to develop these agents, as I'm calling them. People are living because of their compassion, their love of humanity, and especially these very young drugs, relatively speaking, these agents, this immunotherapy, having unbelievable results with melanoma patients and lung cancer patients. Unbelievable results. And what if I'm part of the chain that gives unbelievable results for ovarian cancer patients? That makes me feel proud to be here. I've got some purpose going on. Now, the thing I will say with that, and this is an important keynote, I will not take any energy on board, and I don't ever want to come across as somebody who is a hero, a martyr, or a savior. That is not my intent whatsoever. There are a lot of people on this planet doing a lot of really, really good stuff, and especially energetically, really supporting the planet at a time when we're experiencing the shift of the age, the winds of change all around us. There's so many people. So I'm not putting myself as special, but what I will say is this is my area of specialty. I know that. The body, and I see it in my astrology, when I shine is when I'm walking the cliff's edge. Those who know astrology, my sun sits directly across from the planet Pluto. That is literally a walk of life and death. That's what it means. They are exactly at the same degree point. And any astrologer who's looked at my chart, it's the first thing they notice, and they say, whoa, you didn't come to play small, did you? Because that's, I'm not saying this to come across as a hero. And please don't take it that way. I'm hoping to give you context that I don't play small. And it's also why I have to draw a really strong boundary around who's with me and who's not. And if you can't hang with me for this information, that how I choose to go about this and the things that I might share along the way, it's part of my purpose, is all I've got to say. There's just information that comes up from within me as I walk that cliff's edge that I feel compelled to share. And I'm not taking it from I don't have anything for anybody who doesn't choose to be in the listening group, to be a part of that experience. There's other people for them, and I don't need to be for everybody. But I'm keeping a really strong boundary set on that, especially this go around. So just looking at my notes here, there's just a couple things I want to mention as muses, or my mindset that I want to give you as a cue as to where I'm at. I'm pretty much through the raw emotion of like breaking into crying, pretty much through that. Just kind of getting settled into this, getting comfortable with my body. I just had my port put back in, my magical port. This time around I had that put in on Friday. Went smoother than last time, and everything so far has gone much smoother, which is a really good sign of the energies lining up. But here's my kind of key points. My tact is going to be to stay as present as I can. Present moment, how I'm feeling right now, because that's how we create our future, is how we feel in the present. And to be as appreciative and really soaking in nature and kind of natural abundance, and also soaking in the help that people are offering to me. I'm taking it. I'm taking it because there are other things that I need to devote my energy to. So I'm beyond appreciative for the people that are doing little and very big things for us. And so that's where I'm at. Very present, very much grounded in nature. And the key word for me is vitality. And so that's where I need to become a fine craftsman, is really working on my vitality in terms of getting up and continuing to walk and feeling that blood pumping through my veins, because that's what's going to support a rocket booster of an immune system, which again is my goal in working with this immunotherapy. And so the other piece that might make you laugh is that I have written on the calendar every single Patriots game. I am a Patriots fan as a northern New England girl. I'm going to watch every single one of those games, no matter how late they are on, because Tom Brady, like him or hate him, again, I ain't got no room for haters here. The man is pretty brilliant with a football. And he is one of my muses, because the man knows his craftsmanship and he devotes his life to that craftsmanship. And my craftsmanship needs to be around this vitality and creating an immune system that is a rocket booster that perhaps has never been seen in this form before on an energetic and cellular level. That is my specialty. And so having real life kind of muses like Tom Brady, it may seem silly, but he really cares about his craft, and he cares about when other people around him share in that crafting that is going on. It is a team effort. And so me having my family on board, my work family on board, and kind of the broader network that I have is important. Just like Tom Brady, I watched him in that first preseason game. He didn't play, of course, a minute in it. But watching these young quarterbacks get out there and just slam it in that game, he was like, yeah! He was cheering just as loudly as if he had made that touchdown. And that's the support that I'm asking those who want to be with me on this journey. My ask for you is wishes of vitality, of believing in the craftsmanship that I'm developing, and to just stay present with me. Let's not get into, is she going to survive this or not? Is she going to die? This has to work for her because she's too young to go. She's got too much to do. Do you feel the energy switches when I talk like that? We need to be right here, right now. I'm sitting here talking to you, and we're talking about vitality. And we're talking about fine craftsmanship, of building an immune system that is a rocket booster. Okay? And it's not kicking cancer's ass. No. It's boosting the cells that Kat already has. That I am a very worthy body. It's why I have such a stout body. Is that I have so much capability and empowerment within me. Okay, so I'm asking you for wishes of vitality and just to contribute to this rocket booster. I just ask you to be right here, right now. Don't get too far down the line. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's project that energy. Let's create that energy right here, okay? And that's where I'm going to try my very best to stay. I'm not going to lie. There is a maturity this time around that I didn't feel when I was going through it the first time. There's a maturity and there is a eyes wide open kind of feeling. I know all the potentials. It's ever present that all those potentials are there. But I'm just trying to be right here, right now, and have gratitude, vitality, and empowerment, and really believing in myself as a fine craftsman. That I know you may not believe this, but I really did sign up to do this. And damn it, I'm doing it. Come hell or high water, I am going to work with these agents because they asked me to. Okay, and this is where you may not, if you're feeling any resistance with that, I may not be the one for you. I may not, and it's okay, you don't have to be part of this. But I need to offer that message because people deserve to hear, people especially who care about me and care about our family, deserve to hear where I'm coming from. And that's the deal, okay? I just want to stay right here, right now, and be grateful and soak up as much vitality of life as I can, because that's how you create future vitality. That's how energy works. And thank God I have that knowledge going into this. Truly, thank God. Thank you, God, for giving me this channel and ability to tap into those messages and the energies, to have a stance on this, because it really helps to steady the ship. And I find that I steady the ship for other people when I offer messages like this. So going forward, I will be sharing, most likely I'll do videos, because I can communicate better when I talk versus writing. I get really caught up in the structure of the sentence and all that. So I may do written updates now and then, but I'm really going to put them on my Cat Shines Facebook page. And so if you want to follow along, or care, if you also know of somebody going through particularly cancer treatment, and if they've had a tough diagnosis or whatever, please share this with them. I'm happy to share. There's something in that this is kind of a role that I'm meant to play, but not as a hero or savior or martyr. No. But I do have a role as a messenger, which we all have roles in this life, and there's something with this about walking this cliff's edge that is part of my journey here. And I actually enjoy sharing what comes up, okay? So if you're looking to follow on, I don't know how often. I think I'll be posting, as kind of my treatment unfolds and I have different conversations and I notice energies, because I'm looking to potentially reset, particularly the healthcare setting. And I work for Dartmouth-Hitchcock, and I love that place. I mean, my heart's all in there. I bleed green, and those who know Dartmouth-Hitchcock will know what I mean. Green logo. So, but there's heavy energy in the healthcare setting, and so I'm really looking to reset that. Because what I know is it impacted my journey last time in a really good way. So I'm looking to see what I can do there, for myself, and even maybe being brave enough to share with my research nurse and or my oncologist, or maybe more people at the cancer center. I don't know. I just know that this information comes to me, and that's why I'm wanting to share, because it could help other people, and it's why I'm doing the clinical trial as well, knowing that it's also in my best interest to do that. So that's my update, everybody. And just stay with me. I know there's some heavy human layers, but I just want to feel the vitality. I want to feel the gratitude, and I want to feel nature and the sort of the natural abundance of life is where I'm looking to go, to become a fine craftsman of those things. So you can catch me on Cat Shines going forward, okay? Thank you for listening. Bye-bye for now.